Good day, class. Today we're going to learn the fourth part of the Transformer series lesson. So previously, we have studied the short and open circuit test. Now, we're going to a little bit about another type of transformer. So the objectives for today's lesson is to understand transformer voltage regulations and efficiency. Also, we're going to know the difference of autotransformer to the other type of transformer. And we're going to touch for just a little bit about tap changer. What's the tap changer? Now, what is a voltage regulations and efficiency of a transformer? So just like any other device, voltage regulation or a full load voltage regulation in a transformer is a quantity that compares the output voltage of the transformer at no load with the output voltage of a transformer at full load. So it compares the two conditions, the no load and the full load of the transformer. So what's the voltage at no load and what's the voltage at full load? So mathematically, VR, which is represented by voltage regulation, is equal to the voltage at no load minus the voltage at full load over the voltage at full load times 100, because voltage regulation's value is in percentage. So in order for us to know what's the no load and full load of the transformer, so remember the voltage that will change at no load and full load is only the secondary voltage, because on the primary voltage, the VP, what we have done in the VP is that we connect the source voltage. So the one that will be connected to the load is the secondary voltage. Now, since at no load, when there is no load, so it's just like an open circuit, the secondary voltage is just equal to the primary voltage divided by the turns ratio, which is A. So the voltage regulation can be expressed as Vp over A minus the secondary voltage at full load over the secondary voltage at full load times 100 in order for us to get the percentage value of the voltage regulation. Now, what is the efficiency of the transformer? Or how can we get the efficiency of the transformer? Now, efficiency of a device or any device is defined by the equation P out over P in. Then since it's a decimal, so we're going to convert it into a percentage. That's why we multiply it by 100. So since the output of the power is equal to the secondary voltage and the secondary current times the cosine theta, or the angle between the voltage and the current of the secondary side, therefore we can change the P out by that formula, while the P in is the total power of the transformer including the power loss. So that is why efficiency now will become the voltage and the current at secondary times the cosine theta s, or the angle between the voltage and the current at the secondary, divided by PCU. So it's the power of the copper plus the core loss power. So it's the copper loss plus the core loss plus the P in, or the voltage and the current at secondary side, cosine the angle at the secondary side times 100, so that we can get the percent efficiency of the transformer. So that is how we get the voltage regulation and efficiency of the transformer. Now, there is such thing in the transformer that was or called as taps or tap changer or just simply taps. So what is it? So a tap changer or simply taps is a device fitted to a power transformer for regulation of the output voltage to the required level. Now, if you say that, the voltage of the transformer are already been stepped up or stepped down. So what's the use of that tap changer? So typically, a transformer might have 4 taps in addition to the nominal setting with spacing of 2.5% of full load voltage between them. So the taps will only change the voltage just a little step higher or a little step lower. It doesn't change big enough. So as you can see, it says that it has 4 taps. A typical transformer has 4 taps with the 2.5%. So it can be pushed up by about 5% or lower it by about 5%. It depends on the settings on the taps, on if it's only going up or going down or both sides. So shall we say if we had a transformer of about 38.5 kV, then it will go up by about just 0.2%. So it will just go a little bit high, but not too high. So these top transformer are being used on a power system or on a line wherein the theoretical design was not meant because of a little bit, maybe there's a little error in the actual, and you need to raise a little bit of voltage above it to compensate that voltage that needed to be raised for just a little, maybe 2% or 5%. So you just need a tap changer, not the entire transformer you're going to replace, but that transformer has a tap changer that will meet the required voltage on the actual settings. Now, an auto transformer. What is this auto transformer, and what's the difference between the auto transformer and our normal transformer that are being used? So in auto transformer, it is a transformer with only one winding wound on a laminated core. So remember, a transformer, if you try to review it on our previous lesson, transformer has 2 windings. But the auto transformer has only 1 winding. Now, have you ever wondered why? Why it has only 1 winding if transformer only works or will works through magnetic induction? So, yes, transformer work through magnetic induction, and auto transformer will only help you a little bit. Well, I'll give you later on the disadvantage of this auto transformer. So an auto transformer is similar to a 2-winding transformer but differ in the way the primary and secondary windings are interrelated. Actually, an auto transformer can also it's another way around. Another transformer can be made as an auto transformer and vice not a vice versa, unless it's already a ordinary transformer. But mostly is an ordinary transformer, the two winding transformer can be made into an auto transformer. Now, let's look at the construction or at the schematic diagram of an ordinary transformer. So this is the ordinary transformer. As you can see, there are two windings for a transformer, the primary and the secondary winding. While the auto transformer, the primary and secondary winding are physically connected. As you can see on this illustration, see the difference? There's two winding at the transformer, while this figure has only one winding. But the two windings for an ordinary transformer are being connected together with the auto transformer. So as you can see, the C, point C, which is for the ordinary transformer, this is the point C. And the point D is connected to the point B. So the voltage that being generated at the primary side for the ordinary transformer is the same the supply voltage at the ordinary transformer is the same as the supply voltage that is being induced to the auto transformer. Now, when it comes to the current, as you can see in the figure, the current for the auto transformer are now being subtracted, or there's a difference between the current. So the current that's supposed to be on the I2 for the transformer, in the auto transformer, it is the resultant between the two, I2 minus I1. So that will become another current. But most probably it almost same as the ordinary transformer. But there's as little difference on the voltage level that will be generated, or the output voltage for the auto transformer. Now, what's the advantage of the auto transformer from the so-called ordinary transformer configuration? Now, it's less costly. When it terms, I'll give you an example of it. The difference between the transformer and auto transformer, why it was said that it is less costly. Because if you're going just to change a voltage, just like a center tap, just a little higher, auto transformer can give it to you. Better regulation. So the voltage regulation of a transformer has higher, or is higher than an ordinary transformer. So I'm just using the word ordinary transformer, or it means for me that ordinary transformer is the common transformer that are being used, or the configuration of that transformer is the two winding transformer that are not physically connected. So that's what I mean for an ordinary transformer. Now, another advantage for an auto transformer is low losses as compared to ordinary two winding transformer of the same rating. Well, it said low losses because of that magnetization loss. As you can see in the figure itself, the ordinary transformer are not physically connected, while the auto transformer are physically connected. So the losses on an ordinary transformer, it has a leakage loss, while in an auto transformer, it has lesser leakage loss. because they are physically connected. Now, the disadvantage of this auto transformer is that the secondary winding is not insulated from the primary winding. As the figure shows that it is not physically apart, or the primary and the secondary winding for an auto transformer is directly connected to each other. So insulation or isolation, not insulation, but isolation between the two windings are not made at the auto transformer because they are physically connected. If an auto transformer is used to supply low voltage from a high voltage and there is a break in the second winding, then the full primary voltage comes across the secondary terminal, which is dangerous to the operator and the equipment. So the auto transformer should not be used for interconnecting high voltage and low voltage system. So if there is a damage on the windings, whether on the primary or secondary winding of the auto transformer, it will damage also the primary winding because the primary and secondary winding, are connected to each other. Not the same with the common transformer, wherein if the primary winding is damaged, the secondary winding or the circuit in the secondary winding will not be damaged because they are not connected. It will not supply, or it will not induce voltage to the other side. Same as if the secondary winding will be damaged, it will not damage the primary side for an ordinary transformer. Now, another disadvantage for auto transformer, it is used only in a limited places where a slight variation of the output voltage from the input voltage is required. It doesn't need a big difference, such as if we're going to put the auto transformer in a 138 kV, 13.8 kV. So auto transformer is not for that kind of application because it has a bigger difference between the low voltage side and the high voltage side. Now, auto transformer are being used as a starter to give up to 50 to 60% of the full voltage to the stator of a squirrel cage induction motor during starting. So actually, auto transformer is not used as a power transformer in the transmission lines. So it is used to give the small boost to a distribution cable to correct the voltage drop. It is just correction for the voltage drop. Because voltage drop is just a small amount of the voltage that are being lost. So auto transformer is somewhat can compensate for the top changer for an ordinary transformer. So if the settings is not met by a top changer, then an auto transformer can be used. So it's also used as a voltage regulator and used in the power transmission distribution system and also in an audio system and railways. But it will be used in the power transmission and distribution system if there is only a little boost up, a small boost to the voltage, not a bigger difference between the low and the high voltage side. For example, to clearly illustrate the use of the auto transformer, so if we have an auto transformer is required to step up a voltage from 220 volts to 250 volts. So the number of coil turns on the transformer main winding is 2000. Determine the position of the primary tapping point, the primary and the secondary currents when the voltage is rated or when the output power is rated at 10 kVA and the economy of the copper will be saved. So as you can see, we have an ordinary transformer who has a rating of 2000 is to 220 volts. But now, the required voltage in the line is 250 volts. So you need to do a step up to change it. But I mean, it can be meant by a tap changer, but the problem requires if we're going to use an auto transformer, if we're going to convert this ordinary transformer into an auto transformer. So what can we do? So this is the setup of an auto transformer. So we have a 240 volt and we're going to change it to 250 volt. So as you can see, the turns on the transformer main winding is 2000. So how can we do it? So using the formula for a transformer, N1 over N2 is equal to V1 over V2. So this is the turns ratio, wherein the primary turn or at the primary coil is equal to N1. So equating this equation, so it will become an N2 times V1 over V2. So the 1 means primary, the 2 means secondary. So this is the, as you can see it on the figure shown. So N2 is 2000, which is the bigger, what is, we can say, bigger turns, times 220 over 250. So that is equal to 1760 turns. So therefore, the point at where the connection should meet is at around 1760 turns, so that we can meet the 220 volt to 50 volt step up transformer settings. Now the current that will result at the secondary side, which is equal to the VA or the power divided by 250. So the power is 10 kVA. So divided by 250, which is the voltage at the secondary. So the current now will become 40 amps. So therefore, the current at secondary side will now be, or the output current, it will now become 40 amp. So since the relationship of the transformer, the input and the output power are equal, therefore V1 I1 is equal to V2 I2. So therefore, equating the two equations, now the primary current will now become equal to 4.4 amps. So that's high current, 4.4 amps. So the economy or the regulation itself, it's 220 over 250 times 100 is equal to 88%. So the economy of the transformer or the regulation is about 88%. So now the user will not going to buy a new transformer just to step up it for a little or just a 30 volt stepping up. He can use his transformer that has a turns rate or that has a turns of 2